Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
If somebody's calling and they say, "Hi, this is the IRS," do not give any information. Just hang up the phone.
As people are receiving their W-2s in the mail, they're starting to file their taxes. The IRS has a warning about at least a dozen scams.
One of those is fake calls asking for your personal information. Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero has the latest on scams targeting your tax refund check.
The tax filing season is underway. Katrina Thompson of Liberty Tax Service says the busiest time of year is the end of January, when most people get their W-2s from employers.
We don't want to have to deal with the IRS any more than we already do, so.
This isn't Thompson's first rodeo in the tax business. She's seen a lot of scams, and there's one big one this year that caught her eye.
There have been telephone calls that whoever claims to be the IRS asking for personal information.
The Internal Revenue Service is already on top of that scam and nearly a dozen others. It put together a list of the dirty dozen. Most of the scams have to deal with people giving out their personal information.
There is no limit to who's getting these calls. Unfortunately, the elderly do fall victim to it.
The IRS says in 2016 it lost nearly $2 billion on tax refund fraud. Thompson says it seems like every year there's a new scam in Fargo.
Last year, one of the big scams was the prepaid debit cards that are given out. People were receiving fake prepaid debit cards in the mail.
She says people were required to give their social security numbers and addresses just to activate that prepaid card. The IRS says that if it does need to get in contact with you, it would do it via mail. In Fargo, Joshua Pagero, Valley News Live.
The IRS says the number of people who have had their identities stolen has dropped 65% from 2015 to 2017. For more on the IRS's Dirty Dozen, visit our website, valleynewslive.com.
An Idaho man reached out to our whistleblower hotline after flying to Fargo to buy a motorhome, only to find out it was just a scam. The man, who didn't want to be identified, says he put $960 down on the motorhome. He found out about it on usedsas.com, which indicated its headquarters were in Fargo. When he went to the address given, there was no motorhome. In fact, nothing.
It seemed to be the perfect scam. I mean, I thought I had done my due diligence with this. It's not the first time I've bought off the internet, so I don't know what to tell you, but this one needs to be shut down.
We also talked with another man who drove here today from Minneapolis, hoping to drive away with the same RV. Businesses next door told us that they've talked with at least 4 other people in the last week looking for the vehicle lot. Now, the man from Idaho says that he plans to file complaints with both the Idaho and North Dakota Attorney Generals. If you need help uncovering fraud in your community, here's some good advice. Call our whistleblower hotline, 701-237-6576. Leave your tip. We'll do our best to get to the bottom of it.
As we get ready to move into the weekend, we are going from one bone-chilling day to another. Robert, dangerous lows by tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it's already dangerously cold in parts of the area. Temperature-wise, it's minus 24 right now in Langdon and Baudette, 18 below in Grand Forks, 9 below here in Fargo and Valley City. Winds are light, but it doesn't take a whole lot of wind with these kind of temperatures to create those dangerous wind chills. Right now, minus 40 in the Langdon area, 30 below in Thief River Falls, minus 26 here in Fargo. Wind chill advisory through tomorrow early for those wind chills as cold as 30 to 40 below. Just a few clouds out there. Underneath those clouds, a few flakes of snow off towards the south. Those will continue to dissipate. Slightly warmer as we head through the weekend, but we've got a couple of snow chances to talk about as we head through the next several days, and we'll get to all that here in just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Robert.
Authorities in Grand Forks are investigating after finding a man dead in the enclosed box of a pickup truck. Today, officers were called to the 400 block of North 4th Street. The exact cause of death not known at this time. However, police say there are no signs of foul play. The identity of the man has not yet been released. Police are continuing to investigate the incident.
The Child Care Center at the Grand Forks Air Force Base is set to reopen next week now that space has been cleared of any gastrointestinal illness. Both the Child Care Center and youth programs closed suddenly a little over a week ago because so many people were sick. Since then, airmen have sanitized thousands of toys and have been working with the CDC to make sure the space is clean for children to return to. The youth programs will start up again, and the center will reopen on Wednesday, January 23rd.
State veterinarians are investigating a beef herd in Sargent County, North Dakota, after finding bovine tuberculosis. The vets tested the herd, finding 5 more cows with the disease, and they're checking out more. This strain of TB has not been found yet in the U.S., but it's similar to cases in Mexican cattle. Bovine TB can be transmitted from animals to humans and from humans to animals. Authorities say no other cattle herds had direct contact with the infected herd. Meat from animals that pass inspection is safe to eat.
Technology meant to help could actually be hurting students.
Valley News Team's education reporter Veronica Marshall looks into homework help apps and how they can negatively impact learning.
Having access to that doesn't give students what they need to learn.
Tiana Harrington knows what homework helping apps can do because she's used them before.
When I was in high school, I don't remember exactly how my dad did it, but he took a picture of my homework and uploaded it, figured out my entire math problem, and it gave me the correct answer and everything.
That's why she says instead of helping, apps that just give students answers can actually hurt their learning.
It's the same as cheating, just being able to take a picture of the homework, click on a button, and all of a sudden they have the correct answer, because at that point they're not learning anything.
Homework apps are convenient, however, I just think with technology, it's overtaking homework, and I believe the kids need to have accountability for getting their work done and hand it in and knowing how to do it.
Teachers say the apps can also limit students' personal growth.
I know they're learning it because I'm with them all day, but what I really want to teach is responsibility. The responsibility to bring in their homework, the responsibility to take care of it, to put it back in their backpack, to show mom, dad, grandma, uncle, aunt, whoever's looking at it, to hold the kids accountable. And that's going to teach them life lessons.
So instead of turning to technology, Harrington says students should try reaching out for help.
I know that's a really big thing. I even struggled with it growing up. I was always afraid to ask for help, but I feel like that needs to become a norm, asking for that help again. It only takes a few minutes sometimes and the right guidance to understand what you're doing.
In Fargo, Veronica Marshall, Valley News Live.
If students need homework help and no one is available in person, professional help is available online for free through sites like tutornd.com.
President Trump says he will make a major announcement tomorrow afternoon about the government shutdown and border security. Trump and Democrats in Congress remain far apart over Trump's insistence on funding for a wall along the Mexican border as the price of reopening the government. The announcement will take place at 2 in the afternoon. Trump says the announcement involves the humanitarian crisis on our southern border.
Nearly 2,000 North Dakota federal employees have been impacted by the partial government shutdown, now exiting its 28th day. Job Services, 14% of the affected workers have filed claims with the state for unemployment benefits. Nearly 300 claims have been received in the last month from people affected. If furloughed workers file claims, they are expected to pay back the state for any money loaned once the partial shutdown is over.
Thousands of Native Americans and allies united today in Washington, D.C. for the first Indigenous Peoples March. The event calls attention to injustices that affect women, men, and children. North Dakota Tribal Chairman Jamie Auger traveled all the way to D.C. to rally for his community, advocating for the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women's Act that narrowly failed in last year's Congress. He wants to see greater protections for Native American women and an end to voter suppression. This year, the first 2 Native American women took office in Congress, and Auger says their historic victories are inspiring.
You know, and it's that trailblazing, and it shows our youth that you can be anything you want to be, and it's just a great thing.
Auger also says his tribe is working to strengthen ties with the North Dakota governor's office.